I just come across on internet and found this package called AgGrid. So this is basically how to render data on the table with a lot of features. There's a lot of features basically in here. Like for example, I'm gonna click the name of the header like a ticket. So this basically will sort the table by the ticket. As you can see, if I click, the animation is just smooth in my opinion. And yep, all of this just works. And by the way, this demo is using real-time data, so that's why you can see the data it just changed. I create the React application using Fit. All right, so now let's install the AgGrid package. Let's go to React in here and just copy this npm install, go to terminal and hit enter. Next, we need to wrapping our application using AgGrid provider. So I think I'm gonna copy all of this and then just paste that. Here we go, right? And as you can see, this is basically the function app and return AgGrid provider and paste the modules. So anyway, what next? Let's take a look. Next thing is we need to create the raw data. So you can just copy this value or just grab the data from anywhere you want. For example, I'm going to copy and paste that. As you can see, this is the raw data that have make, model, and price and electric value. That's it. We have 3 objects right here. Let's take a look. Next, we need to create the column definition. Here, I'm going to copy that, paste that here. As you can see, we have the column definition and we have field in here. So this basically will be becoming the header value. And now what we have to render inside the AgGrid provider is, let's take a look on documentation, is this one right here. So I'm going to copy that, right? And then just paste that like this. And of course, we have to import the AgGrid React. Here we go. So now let's just take a look at the result. As you can see, nothing is just rendered, but I believe there's no error. It should be fine, but we still not see anything on the browser. I think in here, I'm going to add styling. So for the height, I'm going to create like a 600 pixel and the minimal width, I'm going to do 900 pixel. So let's take a look at the result. As you can see, all of this is just rendered. The data is just rendered and we have table in here. But of course, now the table is not on the center, so we can fix that. Let's go back to I think I'm going to add styling on the main. Just really simple styling here. I just want to copy and paste that. As you can see, we have this maximal width, margin 0 auto to make that width into the center, and this width and overflow X to auto as well. And also don't forget to just remove all the styling on the app and index.css in here just to make sure your table it should be on the center like this. Let's try to understand what's going on in here. For the raw data, it's basically everything that you see on the row, right? For example, the Mac, Tesla, model Y, and the price and electric. As you can see, all the values in here, right? But you have to make sure that the value key on the object row should be matched with the field value. For example, the make right here should be same, the model should be same, the price should be same. If I change, for example, the field in here to max, for example, I'm going to save that and this should be not working. It's just looking for max value, but now we don't have yet. So if I change this one here and it should be works, right? That's how it works. Super simple basically. And now we can send some props on the AgGrid React. For example, the default column definitions. So in here I can put set equals to an object. So here I can send like a flex value and I'm going to do 1. So that means all the field in here, all the column should have flex 1 width. As you can see now the width is same for all table, for all column, right? And we can send also like the sort table, for example. Sort table, I'm setting that to true. Now we can just click the value on the header in here. And that's basically will sort the value based on what we click on. For example, model in here, all right? Nice. And of course, we can add another like a filter to true, for example. So if I save that, now as you can see, we have this filter right here. We can just put like a Toyota and I can just see the value in here, just render, right? Nice. That's just pretty simple to put a filter and sortable. So how about the pagination? So anyway, if you want to show the pagination, really simple, just put pagination set equals to true and you can see the pagination right here. Right, cool. And as you can see, the default value is 20, 50, and 100. You can also change that value. You can put the pagination page size selector to 10, 20, and 50. Now you can see here 10, 20, and 50. Right. And by default, you can put like a 10, for example. So in here, you can paste the pagination, page size to 10, and that's will becoming the default value. So how if I want to get the data from the API? Really simple. You can run the use effect in here. I just grab 100 data and then grab the JSON and then put the data into the set row data state. And now this should be new data, right? And then I like to just create the type in here. So this is basically the DummyJSON user type that have an ID, first name, last name, email, and age. So now we can put the user type on this row data state. I just want to paste that, as you can see. And then now in this column definition, we also can put a type in here. So first I'm going to import this type in here, type column definition from AG grid community. And then I'm going to paste the column definition to this state right here. And then as you can see inside the column definition, I also put the user type in here. So as you can see now we have this error because this field value is not matched with this type of user. So I have to create like a user, like a first name. As you can see now the error is gone, right? It should be matched with this type. This is really useful if you want to be the row data and column definition. It should be connecting with the same type. So in here, first I'm going to create the field, should be have type ID. And then I'm going to say comma, first name, and then it should be last name, right? Last name. And then this one, it should be the email and then age. That's it. Great. There's no error. So now let's take a look at the table. I'm going to go back, and as you can see, all the value is just render. This next pagination here, it just works out of the box. And of course, you can always change the width of the table. For example, the ID in here, you can change that. So let's go back in here on this ID. I'm going to put this maximal width in here, maximal width. I want to setting that to 90 pixel, for example. Now, as you can see, the ID is becoming 90 pixel maximal width. And also the age as well, I'm going to adding that. The age should be have maximal width into 100 pixels. So now as you can see, the age is 100 pixel maximal width. Also, there is a couple theme that you can implement on this table. For example, as you can see in here, you can use theme quartz, theme balham, and material, and etc. So let's try to use this one right here. I'm gonna copy that and paste that to the AG grid React, trying to import that value. And now as you can see, it just look like this. Let me try to refresh that. And the data it should be rendered. Here we go. As you can see, the theme is look like this. And of course, you can always change that to another theme like theme quartz, maybe, right? So let's try to grab that theme and quartz. Let's try to see the result. Here we go. And basically you can send parameter on the theme. For example, this one right here, you can put accent color to red. As you can see, if I hover, the color is changed. The way we're using that is pretty simple. Just create variables like this. For example, my theme. And then now you can just paste the my theme on these theme props on AG grid React. And now as you can see, if I hover, now the row should be becoming red color. And there's a couple options as well. As you can see here, the theme parks, and also the color and the dark mode, right? The font, the borders, and etc. There's a lot of options. Basically, you can just see on the documentation. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully this video helpful, and see you on the another video.